Let me start.
Okay.
So, hello, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Slice podcast, which is focused on elevating the wealth of Africans globally. And I'm here with David for season 2.
So it's been
And
two whole
we've not been
years.
we've not done this for over a year now.
So
So this is yeah, it's
yes,
over
over
a
a
year
year.
now. We
Yeah,
start
more
our
than
last episode
a
was
year
30
plus.
December for
Yes.
2022. So
Two
we
years.
missed out
Yes.
on the whole election. We missed out
And the
on
whole
brouhaha.
dollar and everything. So it was the last time we met like this. How much was dollar?
Yeah, the
Last
last
time
time
we
we
met
met,
like this.
dollar was 600, 700. That was dollar. Like
It was 600 and no. What happened that month? There was a spike. I remember the spike
yeah,
to 800 and everybody was scared. Then it came back
yeah.
to 760, 770. And then as of today, we are glad or not glad to
We are glad
announce.
to double it.
So
We're glad to
it
double
has
our
been
money. If you wanted to double your money into 1 year, just put your money in USD.
that's all.
They just convert your money, put it under the bed, and just wait till January 2024, and you've doubled your money. So it's really
We've
incredible,
literally
man.
doubled it. Yeah. So
So like
how's
David, how are you doing? Hope you're good.
I'm good. I'm adjusting back to this. So I had to make jam starts because I've not done this in so long. So shout out to
Oh,
Jam for
you're
starting.
making me emotional.
Okay, so I have a question for you. How has the past year been? Because this past we haven't it has been a year now. No, it has been 13 months
Yeah,
now. Exactly 13 months
yeah.
since so there's a whole lot that must have happened. How you now? Are you out of the country? I'm seeing some things in your background. There's looking like you're out of the country and all that.
No,
But
no. So with the last time we did the podcast, I mean, Kevin
mm,
went to Techstars. Um,
yeah,
we had the podcast. We had less than 1,000 users. So it was
you had
last
less
year
than
was
1,000.
like, yeah, we had less than 1,000 users when we started the podcast. We had a
Are you
thousand
serious?
users as of January 2020,
I cannot even
2023.
remember. I cannot remember having
Yeah,
anything less
it's
than
it's
5K.
insane. It's yeah.
Wow,
So
wow,
now
wow, wow,
like
wow.
it's just been like a whole roller coaster since
Yeah.
then. And we've been pushing, we've been helping people save, helping people invest. Personally, I'm still in Nigeria, even though
Okay.
secretly I'm a UK citizen. Do you get? In
Okay.
my mind,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
with you people here because what I've seen, I need to go there. Do you get?
Yeah.
It's just been a huge roller coaster since last year to date. But the reason why we wanted to do the podcast again is because a lot of people were actually asking us how far this podcast was really
Yeah. Yeah.
helpful,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and they missed the
Yeah.
interaction. So we're going to
Yeah.
be,
And funny enough,
firing.
a lot of pods like this came up last year, but we were first. So
Exactly. When we
we were
relaxed,
first.
you get
We were
when we
first.
relaxed. But it's fine, it's fine.
But
It's
no,
fine.
it's fine. It's fine. There's enough
We're,
space in
we're
the
back.
clouds for the birds to fly. You understand? So I mean, um, so for me, my past year, I think for me, it was majorly a time of building, a time of like learning. Do you understand? Like
Yeah.
what I knew when we started the pod and what I know now. Like as I am now, I can probably do like back to back just because of how much accumulation I've made over the year. So for me, it was a lot of understanding like how the macro economics work, the micro and all
Yeah.
that. Because on all sides we've grown, and in the role that I serve, the growth directly affects me. It's not if it was like a front end role, the product is the product, no matter how many users you make. But for my
Yeah.
role, if the users are increasing, then my own work too is
It's
increasing.
also
So
increasing as well.
yeah. So there's been a lot of growth on my end, a lot of learning, a lot of financial learning basically. Yeah. And a lot of helping people. I think in this
Yeah.
past year, I probably answered more questions than I've ever had to answer
In
ever.
your life.
So in my life. So,
Everybody,
was it like
guys, everybody knows
funny
like
enough.
David. Yeah, you want to say
No, go
something?
on. No, I wanted to say that in
Yeah,
tribe,
everybody. I
just
just
for
want to point
context,
out
in the
that like
tribe. Okay,
the work you're doing in the tribe, just the work you're doing in tribe is amazing, and like being
thank you.
helpful to. And it's
Yeah,
not even just about like saying, okay, I want to praise David. Like David has actually helped. You know when you say you're helpful. So if you're not
yeah,
even on the tribe, I don't know, like you need to connect with David, you need to join the tribe. It's such a it's a movement right now. It's an impactful movement. People are actually engaging and asking really tough questions. And we're just there to help
yes,
people actually get to
yes.
the best level that they want to. So really, really appreciate what David is doing here with the community.
Thank you
So
so much.
great
Thank
work,
you
man.
so much, Chow. Thank you so much. If you're on the tribe, for example, last year, which is funny because last year it's almost like we moved all our efforts from here to the tribe, but this year we are going all out. Tribal,
Yeah.
Pordo, everything is back to back everywhere. What's the name of that movie? Everything Everywhere All at Once. So that's what we'll be
Exactly.
doing this year. So this is a new year, and it is a year of so much change. A lot is already happening so quickly. It's January ending now, but it feels like I've used like 3 years in the year. So I just wanted to ask for your
Exactly.
outlook for the year. Like, how are you seeing this year? How is the year, going for you? How do you think the year will go on a monetary side of things?
For me this year is just to be very cautious. Because there's a lot of hardship in Nigeria, and usually um, when there is really high inflation, high uncertainty, um, there could be a lot of schemes out there that can really entice people to invest here, put your money
Mm,
here, everything. If you
okay.
check when MMM happened, things the check inflation that time it spiked, dollar spiked that time. So it's
Yeah.
when there is always hardship, when there is always difficulty, that's where you see a lot of misalignment with crime rates going up, people being kidnapped, people being doing all sorts of
Yeah. Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You get to see all of the issues with um, fraud and stuff going on. So just being cautious is one thing that you have
Mhm.
to really do, and just cautious with your health, with your environment, with your money. So just being extremely cautious. I think being able to diversify is something that is really
Being
important.
able to
So
diversify.
how do you
Why
sort of
diversification?
create a way where you're not left behind? You're not left behind.
Yeah.
When you think about it, your money has to be in USD. Like
Mm.
it just for your sake. I think I made a post on my story yesterday on WhatsApp, and I'll just like see. It doesn't make sense for all your money. Like if they turn you upside down, you don't have
Yeah.
$1 somewhere. It's insane. Like you should have
Mm.
some allocation, $10 every single month.
But
It really
don't you see
helps
a
long term.
scenario? Don't you see a scenario? Do you see a scenario whereby things change? At least this year,
It,
sometime this year.
I doubt. I really doubt. And I have to
Mm.
see some because what I've been seeing so far, like promises, like oh we're going to do this, oh we're going to do. I've been seeing a lot of promises. I've not seen an active policy that would revive the economy. I've not seen that yet. So, for example, now I've not seen an active policy that would help with how do we boost manufacturing? How do we boost like local goods being produced here?
Yeah.
Like I've not seen that yet, and I feel like that is where like value comes in. I've not seen an active. Well, I know that like the minister of tech, information and tech, what's his name,
Minister
Doctor
Bosun,
Bosu.
Dr. Bosun. Yeah.
Fantastic. Another thing that he's been doing a lot of good work with trying to get people to get like tech skills so that they
Yeah.
can
Skill up.
upskill and learn stuff. So yeah, I know that like in Nigeria, we need to manufacture more. So that's important. Like we need to make sure that refinery, if we don't have a policy right now that would have like 5 refineries by the end of the year, we are joking. We are still joking. We're still joking.
Mm.
So all of us should not be betting on Dangote refinery to save the economy. We need like
Yeah.
5 Dangote refineries so that we can be able
Mm.
to do something
So that
important.
we can.
Then I think
Yeah.
just being able to like I think we need to produce more. Agriculture is the easiest sector to get into. like to make sure that we are producing more. And we have a lot of that. Like we have a lot of land that we can use. So that is it. Then I think our labor, our workforce is the whole world is going global, and a lot of people are earning really good skills. So we need a lot of
Yeah.
policies directed to that to make sure that that actually grows really fast as well. So I think if I'm seeing those three trends happening at the same time, it gives me confidence that okay, this year is going to end really well. And I'm sorry that I'm not very optimistic at this point in time,
Optimistic
but I've not seen all of
about
those
things
things.
panning out like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah, I
not seen it
understand what
yet,
you're
but
saying.
hopefully, I mean, I hope it's actually to make things
But
hopefully get
what
better.
about,
Yeah.
for example, now do you see like debt as an out for the whole issues
Like
going on?
Nigeria raising debts, like
Yeah,
raising
like
debts
short term solutions. I think
for Nigeria as a
that's the
country
best
or
way
for
to
like
describe.
us.
No. For example, now what we are dealing with is a function of demand and supply, especially now that the market is
Yeah,
freely floating. So in a
yeah.
situation whereby we borrow to cover the shorts that we have for
Okay,
the
got
short
you,
term. Yeah,
got you. I think borrowing is good. I mean, most of the issues we have are not short-term issues. So most
okay.
of the issues we have are real institutional problems that require
Mm,
like if that's why I said that I'm not expecting to see results this year. I just want to see active policies, like active direction
yeah.
towards this to make me feel like
Okay,
okay, that's
we
going
put
to
it
happen.
in we put a bill down, we've made an act that we're going to do so and
Yes,
so
like
in the next
there are
five
some things
years.
that's exactly like I was
Yeah.
watching a video. You know that? Do you remember when we used to have like Vision 2030 or something like that? Like Vision
It was
2020, Vision 20.
the most popular one I know is 2020, yeah.
So we have Vision 2020. We had
Yeah.
that for I don't know more than 10 years or 20 years or something like that. I
Mm,
don't think we achieved anything. In Dubai, they have 5 year vision. They have like right now they have as of 2021, they have a Vision 2025. That's a really short
yes.
term, very concise vision. They say that in the next 5 years we want to do XXX, and you know that that
XXX.
politician that said I'm going to do it. In fact, he's still going to be in office. He's not his
Yes.
what Vision 2020 now. The people that started it, they've gone, they've left,
They've gone.
and Nigeria is just like hanging. So I feel like for short term things, I don't think we like it's not going to help us. We're just spending money. You know when you're just spending and
Yeah.
burning money up and down. I feel that's what's going
Yeah.
to happen with short-term loans, and you're not entirely confident that the government will allocate those loans properly. So I
Yeah.
just feel like anything that we're doing now should be really like these are the things that we want to achieve. Like like the president should really come out and say, hey, we have 2 years, we have 3 years, and year one, these are the things that we are going to sort of implement. Results might not come in this year. Just be honest with us. Don't lie to us. Results might come in,
Mm,
in the
yeah.
next 2 to 3 years.
Two to
And
3 years.
hopefully, if I'm running for re-election, I'm already showing like workings. I'm already showing that oh,
Mm.
these are the things I said though. This is what's
And
happening
these are the
now.
things I'm
Do you get
doing.
it? These are the things I'm
Yeah.
doing now, so you guys can re-elect me. So I feel that's
Yeah.
important. I don't know what short-term debts will do for now because most of our stuff are really infrastructural
Long term
issues that we need
issues.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So based on that, there's been a question that I think I
yeah,
was asked last month or so. So the person was like, oh, along the lines of, is it really everything, especially when it comes to like the economy, like the finance side of things, what affects me, what affects you, that is solely on the government? Is there anything that
yeah.
I can do that is not like, oh, because the person was like, this is what the person said. So the person came to the tribe and was like, it's like anytime, every time, government, like this is not a
Yeah.
politics, this is a personal finance stuff. So like I had to like answer him, but it still got me thinking that okay, is it really every single thing that is this administration?
Government and yeah.
Is it right to say that, or is there anything that we can do, like to just change things,
Um,
or is it a function of up and down? The only thing that
um,
can change is the government.
yeah. I honestly think that
Hmm. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I get you. What do
Okay.
you think? What do you think from your own angle? Like, how did you answer the person? What do you think from your own angle?
So the way I answered the
Because it'll be
person was
interesting to
like
get your
this.
take.
The way I answered the person was like this. So first of all, we are tiny pieces in a chessboard. You understand? The economy
Yeah,
as a whole is a chessboard. It's kind of like when you look at the multinationals, when you look at the industrial companies. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
if for example now NASCO decides to raise prices, they don't care about people in Kogi. They are raising prices for everybody.
yeah,
That
yeah,
is the price. So using that, that's what I used to explain to you that as much as we can say, oh, I mean, I can do, we get motivational stuff, we can change the world, we are not responsible for changing benchmark interest rate. Even
yeah.
though you pray, even though you fast,
That's
even
a
though,
very
see,
specific
you,
example.
you can write letter, you can say Mr. Kadwoso. I don't know his full name, but
Yeah,
I don't want to call him his nickname because this is
they'll just come for us.
Eh, so, Mr. Kadwoso, I am from your local government. I was in your class in JSS2, and please, I want you to
Yeah,
change the benchmark interest rate so that we can be able to attract more funding to the country. You can write later if you are not on the board because there's a CBN board. I don't want to take time to
yeah.
break it down, but they meet monthly to decide these things. The MPC
Even though
and
they've
the
not
rest,
met for months, but
even though
they've
they've
been
not met
doing.
for months. So if you are not part of that, as much as you want to shake and be a world changer,
Yeah,
there's nothing you can do.
you can't really do much.
And their
Yeah,
decisions affect
honestly.
each and every one of us. See what I'm saying? We don't
Yeah,
change the way dollar enters because the major movers in Nigeria, there are a few people. Do you get? We have the oil marketers deciding how much they want to bring in the oil. If you're not part of the oil marketers, it's not you with your 25 kg, 25 liter, this thing that's going to scream at, oh, make it cheaper. Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like those guys
100%.
decide what happens. And if you're not part of them, then you can only hope.
I think I think you're right. I mean, so the way I would probably put it is the government is the sole reason why the government is, in power is number one, security. Like security is really important. Like if your country is not
Yeah.
secure, nobody's going to invest in it. So I think that's really important. That's why we say that, oh, a failing state. Like when someone mentions that Nigeria is a failing state, they always look out
Based.
for what's going on, why are people being kidnapped, what's going on in this area, why are the bombings happening, stuff like that. The other thing that will probably lead to the government is meant to do is just to create like enabling environment for things to happen.
Yes.
Like, so
Yes.
just
Yes.
what
Yes.
kind of
You know,
environment are
you know,
you creating?
just to add
Yeah,
just to add to what you're saying. And the thing is, they have, for example, let me give you an example. If
yeah,
we start a service whereby you can bring drones, you have drones in your house,
yeah,
you can carry bread and beans from your kitchen, airlift it safely. You're not hitting any bird, you're not killing any bird, you're
yeah,
not no play to your customer.
yeah,
Perfect business plan because drones are like fixed price, there's no fuel or that. And let's say you got the
yeah,
drones cheap from some farm in, let's say, China, and the
yeah.
government said you are not going to do that business. There's nothing you want to do.
You're not going to do it.
Nothing. You remember, and this whenever I mention this, I always mention the story of what's the name of these people that with their Okada? What's their name?
um, oh my
Was it
goodness.
Gokada?
Go Kada.
Yes. They went to Lagos State. I'll never forget that month. Not 2 months. It was when we're still in the other place.
Yeah,
They went
Go
to Lagos
Kada,
State office.
Max. They snap picture
Yes.
with government.
They will snap picture with the officials that month. As in, let's go for
Oh,
please love us, so ops. The next month, they brought out a decree. Everything, Google and the rest shut down. And there's nothing.
yeah,
People were lobbying,
there's nothing.
they were doing video, they were using their helmet to protest. Nothing. Anyways,
And
I
it
just
just
wanted to add that
shows,
to your.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Like, it just shows like the government's role, and if you're not creating the enabling environment for people to thrive, right, it's going to be difficult for the average person. So there is actually a limitation for
Yeah,
the average person for what they can actually do to make the country better. So the conversation
yeah,
really for most Nigerians shouldn't be what should you do to make the country better, because that's the job of the leaders. That's why we
yeah.
elect them
Of the
to
people
do
on
the
top,
right
yeah,
thing on behalf of the country, right?
yeah.
The conversation should really be what should I do for myself? Like as an individual, like
Mm,
what should I, based on
yeah,
what I'm seeing now, what's the
yeah.
best decision for
Example,
myself as a
watching the
person?
slice. Yes, yes. Watch the
Example, watching the
slice.
slice.
Yes,
That's
yes.
really important, really important. Thank you
Yeah,
very
very.
much, Oti.
Mm-hmm. OT.
So like it's the whole conversation really is about like
Yeah,
so you can't do, if you're complaining about, I tell people that, oh, when you see the dollar rise or when you see
yeah.
um it's, you can't, don't be sad, you can't do anything. The
You
person that is meant to do
can't do
it,
anything
some
about it.
people are
Yeah,
working to make sure that that doesn't happen. Do you get, that's their
yeah.
full-time job. For you, you should make sure that you as a person, you're sort of protected so that you don't, what really
So,
affects you is what's the price of rice when you go next month to buy it. What's the
yeah,
price of beans when you go next month to buy? When you're restocking, hope you're not shouting in the market.
yeah,
Okay. That's really what affects you. And it's all about your money, all about your income. So if it
yeah,
means like getting like another side gig, if it means like getting more dollar payments into your
yeah.
pockets, that's what you have to do for you, right?
Hmm.
And that's the best really we can actually, do
Yeah. So,
on our
so
own
there are
parts.
things that are fixed. There's something my friend always says. She always talks about how it is very important for you to stay focused on things you can control. I think that's where it
Yeah.
comes from. Like knowing that okay, you cannot control the dollar. You are not moving enough dollar. Like the people who are moving they are there. There
We're
are people who
moving.
are
They are
moving
there.
2M, 20M in a day. You are not part of them yet. You will get them one day. Listen to the
Yeah.
slides. But
Yes.
for now, just focus on things you can control rather than things you can't control. So yeah. So thank you for that. Moving the main purpose of the board is just to talk about the outlook for the year. Since it's the first month in the year, you need to have like an outlook, like oh, how we do this. A lot of people have published their own outlooks. Microsoft just dropped their future of work, how work will look like this year. So this is the Slice Intelligence Committee dropping our own outlook for the year. So Slice Intelligence SIC
Abby, man,
Slice Intelligence
SIC.
Committee. Yeah, chair and
Love
co-chair.
it.
Anyway, so we're talking about the outlook for the year. So how do you see spending outlook? How do you think things to be bought? How do you think that will go? And then also like advice on how people should be looking forward to spending in 2024. I want to make sure that my words are exact.
Bruh, you know the funny thing is,
Yeah,
I'm expecting spending to sort of contrast a bit. And the reason is when there is high inflation,
yeah,
people tend to buckle up. They tend to make sure that they focus on necessities than any other thing.
yeah.
So I think
So
that's
just
what's
a
going to
just
happen.
a just a pointer to what you were saying. I was talking to someone. This is like a pointer. You know what we do on the slides, especially when you have the chair and the co-chair. Like today, we drop some. You understand? So I was talking to someone about the person is a business owner, and
Yeah.
the person was talking about the whole situation tough. Da, 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 da. So I told the person that anything you want to be doing now, any product service you want to be marketing it now, you should be marketing it as a necessity.
Yeah.
You understand? For example, you are cutting hair. You should be marketing that, oh God, come and cut your hair so that they can always remember in your office. They are laying off job now. So that they will not lay you off because your hair is not fresh. And you understand? You're marketing it as necessity. Because the only thing people are going to be paying money for now is that it's absolutely necessary. People are leaving
Yeah.
bottled water, they are buying pure water. And pure water, they will buy more than enough than they have ever bought before. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's a
Yeah.
necessity. So, just for a tip for people who are business owners, things of the sort, service providers, make sure that you are positioning yourself to look or appear or to be a necessity. Because only
I
necessities
think
to
that's really
survive.
important.
So
I
I
think
was
that's
just going to add
another
that.
thing that
So
another thing I'm actually looking out for is like loan apps, like making a kid this year, like making so much money this year, because it makes sense to collect. It makes sense to collect like 100K loan, buy whatever you want to buy, and pay whatever interest, because it's probably lower than
I
the
was
growth. The growth of inflation.
this thing. We must have
Yeah.
we must have like an episode just for it because now disagreeing so on. Person was like, don't take. I'm like, if you know how inflation works, you will not say this kind of thing. It's like it favors
Yeah.
people who take. So wow. That's my
It's like if you can offer loans, short-term loans, 3 months, six, because Nigerians don't like
so much.
most of the working class people, they don't like to owe too much. The people that I know, sure. But like if you can offer loan for 3 months, 6 months, quick interest, something that that and people are able to
Yeah,
actually like take those loans to buy basic things. Like someone can decide that what, I want to buy 10 bags of rice, you get,
yeah.
and they'll lock up.
Ba-
You can
ba-
even
bag,
give
bag,
loans
bag,
to like,
bag of rice is how much now?
I priced it last week. The person was saying
How much?
67,000.
The last one I heard and like saw the purchase was 60. 60.
60. So this is like Saturday, and today is
Just Saturday, so this
Tuesday.
so more recent.
So
Please go on.
so if you see like I feel like that's like where, and even like loan apps, essentially loan apps for even businesses. So imagine someone that is buying in bulk of all
Yeah,
of this bag of rice, you get, and you can tell the
yeah,
person that you know that this bag of rice is going to increase. You already know, so don't even
yeah.
stress yourself. Just go. I can give you 100 million. Bag of rice business is a fantastic business. You can just stock it up
Amazing
to
business.
increase.
It was 50 in November, and people were shouting
Yeah,
50
and you will shout.
in November.
You shout. And you know that people
50.
have to eat rice. It's not like
That's not.
it's not like you're
Like we
selling
were saying.
fat.
It's like we were saying before. It's a necessity. Like people, it
Yeah,
will even as
yeah.
it's high, it will
It
sell out.
will. That's a really cool like business. If you're really savvy and you have access to loans, you can literally buy. I don't know, 200, 1,000 bags. Stock it
Yeah.
up somewhere and see what margins you can make. I think loan apps are going to make a killing this year. I feel it's important for people to even test it out and see where it goes.
Mm,
So that's something I'm
we are going
looking
to
out for.
just to piggyback. We're going to have a dedicated like how to. We'll have someone over who
Yeah.
is in the business and can really advise you because a lot of people have been scarred, which is funny because
From that.
our next voice chat is going to be on your relationship with money and just understanding how
Uh,
people. Yeah, so it's a lot of join the tribe, join. But go on.
I and maybe the third one is just like dollars, like dollar investing,
Bye.
dollar savings. Just buy, just buy, and literally, like it
Well,
takes you nothing. Just buy. I
mm,
don't know what else to
before the
like.
conversation was always around that. Oh, what if I invest now on cable and dollar drop? Nobody's saying it again.
Yeah,
Nobody.
yeah. No one is saying it
Nobody.
again, and you know that again. To be fair,
Yeah.
it can drop. It can drop. You get. But
Yeah.
when you really look at it from a long-term perspective, when you're
Yeah.
thinking
And
of,
the macro.
oh, I'm
Yeah.
thinking of a macro level kind of thing. Warren
So
Buffett
for people
last year
who don't
made
understand,
like
macro means like larger scale. You understand? Like
larger scale,
for
like a
example now,
countrywide economics.
yeah, countrywide, yes. So
Exactly.
micro means the smaller, that is me and you, maybe in a smaller
Yeah, me and you.
vicinity, maybe
Exactly.
Yaba. Yeah, so that's like
Exactly.
micro.
So I wanted to
So
give a
go on.
contrast to why we are. I don't know. We can't swear in this podcast, but why we're in shit. So
Okay.
last year alone, I think Warren Buffett made roughly around $30 billion in dividend. That's
Wow.
equivalent to our reserve as a country.
If our reserves were lower, I didn't know it was that high. 30
Our reserve
billion
right
is
now is probably as of maybe December is probably hovering around 30. So that's really good. So that's how crazy things are, you know. So
Mm,
when you're investing, like when the reason why I'm always saying, like, I'm not saying you should put all your money in dollars. That's not what I'm saying.
yeah,
But I honestly feel like it's a lot of people will be considering, people that have not considered it before would start considering
yeah,
it now as a way to actually
some,
hedge and put
yeah,
some any money I'm thinking of long term and just put it there so that okay, I have something that's sort of can protect me
yeah,
personally as an individual. So I think that's really important. So those
yeah,
are three
yeah,
things
yeah.
that I'm looking at for this year.
Looking out for this year outlook. Spending end of things. I think um, for me, it's a no-brainer, which is funny because if you probably check like the archive, we probably have like an episode just on inflation. We've done even
Yeah.
Twitter, we've done Twitter space, we've done, and now it's like it's just a continuous every time, every time, every time, every time. But I mean, is the phase that we are in. Is the phase that we are in. Every country has their phase, so hopefully
Yeah.
we survive this one, and by listening to these slides, you are more able to survive it. So for me, this year you shouldn't really be buying singles. Anything like you
Mm.
shouldn't buy singles at all, unless it's perishable. You shouldn't be buying
Mm.
singles. You know, so if you are buying tissue, buy the whole pack. If you are buying air freshener, buy pack. If you are buying what else? Detergent, buy carton. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
buy in bulk.
Yeah.
We don't need any too long talk. Like everybody already knows how that's going. So just buy in bulk. Just just like at this point, just buy in bulk. You know, I was saying something about Argentina. So Argentina is also facing, according to Argentina's inflation rate about 250 260% official. So I was saying something that most people there, the restaurants there, they have swapping out traditional menus like paper menus, and they are giving them digital. All of them are using digital menus now, so that they can update the prices as it's going. So in a day they can update like twice, three times.
If
So
you
the
don't order
inflation.
in 5 minutes, price will change.
So we are not there
Oh
yet,
my
but the way it's
goodness.
looking, so just
Bruh, let me tell
gather
you a
your
story.
money.
Sorry,
Yeah, yeah.
sorry, let me tell you a story. This really happened
Mm.
real life. So I go to the Ozone side. There's a small mall in the whole Ozone this thing. The small mall
Yeah,
there.
is one of the
And
floors, Abby?
yet the ground floor, when you're just entering,
Okay.
there's a supermarket by the left.
Okay, so
I think that
yeah,
was
yeah,
last
yeah.
year.
I know what you're talking about.
I go in to buy stuff. I can't even remember the stuff I went to buy. I
Yeah,
see the price tag there. Chicken,
yeah.
okay. Because I'm budgeting like, okay, I'm going to spend like 10K in
Man, like
this
tech,
place.
yeah, okay.
Nothing will stress me yet. And I now say, okay, I pick everything. I go to the counter to make payments. The English they were telling me was that, sorry, all the things that the price that you saw, like
Mm-hmm.
you saw when you were picking it,
You
they've
saw some
changed
minutes
it in the
ago.
system. Yes, they change it right there and then. They change it in the system, so they have to go back and probably like update the price in the shelf. But the price in the shelf is different from the price in the system. So you could imagine my confusion. You can imagine my confusion. I'm like, God, what
Yeah,
is going on? What is going?
and this
So
was
I can imagine
this
in a
was
country
this
where
was
like
last.
this was last year. So imagine imagine a situation whereby like in Argentina over like 200%. Like
Yeah,
that means things are changing like every day. Every day things are just
like
there.
every
There's
day.
new things happening every day. So
Yeah,
it's like you have to really be on top of your pricing to be able to make some money.
yeah. What will you say about saving, like the traditional way of
Mm.
saving money this year? You know how people have those 1 million challenge, and by doing 1 million challenge, 100K every day or 2K every second or 5K
Yeah,
every minute. Do you think that that's it? Because a lot of people usually when they start off the year, that's like that. Okay, I want to have 2M by the end of this year. Like, what are your thoughts around this,
yeah.
given the current climate of things?
I honestly think it's fine. It helps. There are fantastic positives to it. That it helps you to build some discipline. You obviously
Yeah.
save some money that you're going to spend. You know, the I think it's a good thing in general. Like there are lots of positives to that, and everybody should save. Like you should save that. I think my only like concern is like if all that savings is actually in NGN,
Yeah.
you might be losing out on some really good gains. So try as
Mm,
much as possible to just diversify. You just try. Just do yourself a favor, to be honest. Just diversify
yeah.
and make sure that it works out for you. So
So
yeah, I think
instead of
that's
having,
but I think it's awesome. Like I've been seeing like 5K every week,
yeah, I've
5K
been
every
seeing
month.
there's been a lot of
Yeah.
talk about that. So 100K every week.
And
So
the
when
only
you
funny
said,
thing is that yeah,
yeah,
savings will actually go up this year. Like people would save more this year. Because like
yeah, I mean,
the money that
hmm,
you're not spending, so if you're buckling up, you just want to say, okay, this money, maybe I'll save it, hopefully buy in bulk, save some money
hmm,
and make sure I buy everything at once
yeah,
instead of, spending at the moment.
instead
So
of
that might happen because
instead
most
of
Nigerians don't like even loans. When they hear loan, they always run away.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like talking about like your relationship with money. Like some people tell them loan like this, they cannot
They cannot.
fathom
Yeah.
it. They just can't. They just can't.
They
So
rather
I think
save
two
towards
very
buying that thing.
yeah, which is funny because for
Yeah, save
example,
towards.
say you wanted to save towards an iPhone in January, and then you
Yeah.
now finally get the money in April. Only to, you now go and knock on the vendor's DM. They say, "Boss, how far? It's time. I'm ready. I want to spray everywhere."
uh, the shock
Say
of your
sorry,
life.
oh. Say sorry. It has added one.
Dollar. It's dollar, sir. It's dollar. So
I personally
it's just love.
believe that people abuse that thing. People abuse it. People abuse it because our country is already a very import dependent economy. So if there's any small issues on like the exchange rate ish, people just find a way to capitalize on it. So
Yeah.
so I think two very key things you've said when it comes to outlook for this year for spending, for saving. No, very three things. Number one, dollar. Dollar. Which is very interesting because we have been dollar now for the past 2 years. Only
Yeah.
dollars, no naira. We foresaw it. We saw the vision of the co-founders. They saw it and they said something is going to happen one day. We'll be hitting 2,000 naira. And here we are. So we have been doing dollar for a while now. So number one, dollar. Number two, buying in bulk. Like bulk doesn't
Yeah.
pay. Buying singles doesn't pay because by the next time you want to buy it, you just be crying. So the third thing is that look towards lending. Look towards that. Now it's going to be hard
Yeah.
to navigate that because the thing is that inflation favors borrowers. The money you borrow, by the time you're returning it, has less value. And because it's fixed,
Yeah.
most of the time they don't peg interest rates to inflation. Like lenders, they don't say, oh,
Exactly.
they're going to, it's a fixed interest rate. They'll tell you, they're giving me 25% in the next 2 months. And that's that. So if inflation reaches 40%, they're actually the ones losing. So those are three very key things for this year. Dollar, lending, buying bulk. Dollar, I'm just going to repeat it again
So
for at least if you don't get anything. Dollar, lending, buying bulk.
buy
Those three
bulk.
things. So just to move towards concluding our first ever episode of the season 2. So I'd like you to
Yep.
talk about investments for this year. Because it's been a lot of activity. When we first
Yeah.
did the pod, that was one of the worst year for stocks. And then bam, 2023 happened.
Yeah.
Everything was to the moon. Year to date, 70%, 80%, 200%. Then Nvidia came, rah, like AI. There was also the AI boom. So like there's been a lot. There was a whole rally throughout the whole last year. There's a whole lot of, and then also don't forget that crypto made a comeback. Crypto that was,
Yeah.
uh,
Crypto.
in other
Crypto
words,
boys are back.
dumped. Yeah, crypto
Crypto
boys
boys
are
are
back,
back.
and the whole this thing. There's a whole lot of things in like the investment space. So how are you looking at towards this year? Which investments? Which
which investments to make and stuff. I
Yeah.
generally think that when it comes to investments, investments should be very boring. Like it's like investments that last long, that provide best returns, are usually the ones where they are boring. Like you are not a trader. Most people, we are not fund managers. We are not stock markets
We are not.
pickers.
We
As
are. I
most
think
people just want
the
to.
word there, the word to use there is we are not built for trading. If you know what traders
They're not
face,
built for.
if
Yes,
you know
they face
what trader,
a
if
lot of them. 90% of them lose money. So
hmm,
you don't want to be losing the money that you have. So
yeah,
let's just call it speed. Like investing should be boring. It's meant to be. And I learned this from like listening to a lot of Warren Buffett's like
yeah,
his AGM annual general meetings.
yeah.
He's just
Of
like,
Berkshire. Did you watch
yeah,
the
or
last one?
Berkshire Hathaway. I didn't watch the last one actually.
Okay.
I didn't watch the last one. And he's just like, I pick good companies that I feel like even if a dummy, a stupid person is running the company is still going to perform well. And that's
Yeah,
how I believe in the business. Do you get?
yeah,
So I'm not even interested in interest rates or up and down movements in the market. Like what really matters to me is that, hey, I have strong conviction in something that is stable and I
yeah,
can trust in over a given period of time. And that's
yeah.
what investing does. Like that is like any other thing that is short term, like medium term, all of those things, like they don't really matter when you're really thinking of long term. So I feel like most people, like if you really want to do investing this year, you should be thinking long term. Like so I think that's
What
like
is your
the
definition of long term? What is your definition?
definition of long term is now it differs for most people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um and so for a typical Nigerian now, long term might be 12
What's your
months.
definition of a typical? No, wait. What's your definition of a typical Nigerian? You have to specify. There's like so many. Are you talking about
A
people
typical
who are married, people who are not married, people in what age brackets?
So like long term for most people in within mid 20s to early 30s. So
Yeah.
I'm putting it that within that age range. Anything
This
like
is
2 years is long term.
all genders.
Yeah, all genders, all of them.
Okay.
They mostly think that anything 2 years is long term. Like 2 years in Nigeria is
Mm.
long term. That's a very long period of time.
Yeah, because
Do you get?
anything can change in. Yeah, I understand
Anything
what you're
can
saying.
happen. In
Anything
for
can.
so but like if you talk to people in the US, like long term is like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years
mm,
when you retire. Jigga. So like it really differs, especially like the more prosperous you are, the more long term you're actually thinking as a country, as an individual, because you feel like you're going to live longer. Jiggets, and you feel
yeah.
like you have more things to actually achieve. For Nigeria, most people actually think like long term is 2 years, and which is fine to be honest. Um, but I'm not here to like debate long term and which one
Long
isn't
term
long term.
or
But I feel everyone should have like what I'm doing right now. I want to do it for a particular goal in mind in the next 1 year or 2 years, right? I want to do it for a particular reason. I want to do it for my kids, or I want to do it for maybe 5 to 10 years after. Like that should be like your people should be thinking long term. People should not be thinking in
yeah,
months. You shouldn't be saying, "Oh, I want to get my money in 3 months. If I put my money here to double in 3 months, if you can double in 3 months, you can fall by you can lose everything in 3 months as well."
yeah.
So I think that's really important. So investing should be boring. Um,
Mm.
I honestly think that most people should just try as much as possible to diversify because you don't know where things are happening. You don't know what's shifting around you. So
Yeah,
if you feel like your strongest portfolio should be something that is really stable. So if you know that dollar is a really stable dollar savings is really stable, so you don't have to really think too much. So that's good. Um, what savings does for you as a person is that it allows you to seize opportunities that you feel like is going to do well. So you might say, okay, if I'm saving for this, and I'm saving in a very strong currency, I can take opportunities in maybe a new business that I'm doing, or I can take opportunities in maybe like I want to buy like Facebook stock or something like that, and you trust that Facebook is going to be around for years in Tesla. Tesla just went up recently, so you just want to buy a
Yeah.
share because you feel like Tesla is going to be one of the biggest companies. Or you want to buy Nvidia stock, and all of a sudden Nvidia had like a bad quarter, and you have like you've saved over $1,000, and you're just like,
With them.
this is the time to spend this money. You get so savings allows you to take charge of opportunities in a very big way. I think that's really important when you're thinking. Like as much as you can, spread your tentacles. Don't have all your money. Don't have all your eggs in one basket. Try as much as possible to but don't diversify too much because that's when you lose money. When you lose money when you don't diversify and when you diversify too much. That's like it's a very
So it's
it's
like
a double edged
it's
sword
like
at that
finding
point.
a balance just between the two.
Yeah. Yeah. So you really have to
Mm,
find a balance. Like your portfolio, like if you have the smaller your money is, like the more you should diversify in a very like constrained way. So you could do a
mm,
diversification of okay, I'm going to do maybe a 20-20-60, that kind of thing. But someone that has like $1 million or $500 million can afford to do a 10-10-20-20 kind of thing because they're
yeah.
playing in larger numbers. But they're really
Yeah.
good at you have to
Substantial.
actually diversify. Yeah, substantial.
Yeah.
So you have to actually diversify as much as you can, but don't diversify too much. If you have strong conviction in like in a particular thing, it's always important that you make sure that you do your own research, obviously. But if you have strong conviction,
Yeah.
don't go to the stock market and buy like 10 different stocks with your $1,000 or with your 200K naira. You're not going to maximize the value of that investment. Do you get? So if you want to buy stocks, like you can just pick like three.
I feel like that was like that was cliched.
No, I didn't mean it that way
I feel
actually.
like I feel like
But
I said
just
that your small money, you know. But I understand what you say. I understand what you say.
so kind of like if you're doing like 200K, like just I know you want to buy all the stocks in the world, but just hold it. Just say, okay,
Yes,
which
yes,
company
yes,
do I
yes.
feel like I can trust that they can do well within the next 2 to 5 years? Like just pick that one
Mm,
and put it and just forget it. Like just forget. There was a
mm,
documentary I saw that Warren Buffett, what he does is that he just reads newspapers. Like he's not opening the stock market trying to understand what's going on. He just comes in,
yeah,
eats, drinks his Coke, eats his burger, and read a newspaper and make one or two decisions, and it's fine. You get
yeah.
investing is not is you have a job to do. You're investing in not your job. Your job is to put money that you trust can do really well,
Um,
and you can just focus on other things in your life. Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, that's pretty
yeah,
much what I can say. What do you think? What do you think on your end?
yeah.
What do you think about like investing this year?
So for this year, I think what we are on as a global number one, markets have opened up more than ever before. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, sure, last year, 2 years, you could do foreign stocks, but the kind that we have now, we've never had it before. You can literally put money
Yeah.
anywhere, everywhere, anyhow. There's more payment options that can open up more. So I think for me, my own advice would be more towards the more active people. Yours, sorry, yours is more focused towards passive people, like, oh, just put your money and go. So for me, my advice would be towards more active people. Number one, know yourself this year. Like, take your time to understand yourself. As much as,
Yeah.
oh, body is doing you, body is doing you, ask yourself, if you lose 70% of your portfolio, can you still sleep? There's some people that they cannot sleep. They will need to carry them to the hospital. You understand? Because they would, if they
Yeah.
leave them by themselves, they will literally maybe slice their hand as a way of punishing their man. We don't want that for anybody. Do you get what I'm saying? So like just
Sure.
understand yourself this year, decide that, oh, because in a lot of times what people fall into is peer pressure. You see that, oh, this person on, let's say this person on Twitter just bought car and is a crypto boy. Me self, let me enter the crypto. They have not told you that he has done like 50,000 trades. 30,000 of those things are losses. You now gonna enter
Exactly.
your first loss, you're now weeping. What's that? What's that slang they play? They play. So just taking out time this year to really understand yourself. Then number two, you need to focus on trends. Where is the
Yeah.
money going? Where is the
Going to.
direction going? 2 years ago, it was Web3. Web3 had its own, it had its own up
Yeah.
and downs. But now we are now seeing like the purpose for Web3. We are seeing like,
Yeah.
the adoption is getting higher, there's value. So follow trends, know where the trends are going. And another thing when you're making investment decisions is that make sure that those trends are backed by value. You understand? You don't just want to put your money in something that is a trend though. People are riding on it. I don't want to mention, okay, I don't need to mention a company, but I can mention the name NFTs. People were jumping on it. But there was no inherent value to it. In crypto and the rest, and there's serious. The other day, we had a user trying to send money through crypto, and it literally took 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Banks will not even do that for international transactions. He was transferring money from where? The UK or US? And it
UK.
literally
We're
took
trying to
5
from
seconds.
UK.
So that is like a very valid use case. You get what I'm saying? That's a very valid use case. So you want to make sure that you are following the trends. You are following the trends, and that those trends that you are following, whatever it is, it has value. You don't just want to be doing something that does not have value. Anyway, so sorry, having something distracted me. But anyway, so number one, know yourself. Number two, follow trends. How do you follow trends? Just keep yourself updated. Know, for example, now, what are the biggest? If someone had bought Nvidia in January, by now you probably have gotten like 80% back. Do you know what I'm saying? Just because of at the point, there was a particular quarter, either Q2 or Q3, they doubled their profits in one quarter. Literally double their profit. So just understanding that, and even if you cannot even cash in on the latest trend, you can cash in on what's next. You understand? And you can, like I said, make sure that whatever is next is backed by value. So I think those are the two key things on my end. I would say that you should look for this year, because people don't want to miss out on the next best thing. Do you get? We were talking
Yeah.
about it the other
100%.
day. I'm talking about how in the past, for example, some companies missed out on, for example, BlackBerry missed out on like the whole smartphone era,
Mobile
and how
phone.
they were
Yeah.
saying that
Smartphone.
no, keypads will never be obsolete. Da, 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 da. And we saw how, for example, which other company? I was reading about the streaming era and how Spotify and the rest literally kicked over all the CDs and everything and turned CDs obsolete.
Yeah.
And Spotify and the rest actually bettered from like piracy, like people ripping the CDs and stuff like that. So people don't want to be left out. Like companies have learned they don't want to be the one. That's why now everybody's mentioning AI. Every big company is doing their own small AI. If they can't do, they're investing in companies who are already doing. You get, because nobody wants to miss out. No grief for anybody. Nobody wants to grief for anybody. So this year, look towards trends. If you are looking to 2x, 3x, 4x, all those kind of things, look towards trends with value. So those are just my 2 cents. 2 for 2. 2 cents
Awesome.
for 2. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think we've covered most of so spending outlook, saving outlook, investment outlook, covered a lot of things this year. So this year, what are you looking forward to for the slice for 2024?
For the slice.
Yes.
I getting guests, plenty guests to come in.
Yes, we're going to start. Yeah, we're going
Guests
to just
outside of
it's outside of us.
really interesting guests. So outside of us, so you'll
Yeah,
not be hearing our voice too much.
yeah.
But you will be. I mean, some episodes would have us there. We are now in more places, so you can listen. You will not have excuse not to listen to us. So we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we'll be on everywhere. So you get to see
Everywhere.
us more.
Yeah.
I hopefully we get to like 1,000 listeners, per month. I think that would be cool to
You know,
have that.
you're having that. Do you know what I'm seeing this year? That at the
What?
end of the year, we'll have a situation whereby the listeners are like, we need a live show. We need to see you. Like this is me. I'm thinking big now. Like we need a live show.
Oh
That's like
man,
I
that'll
don't
be
I don't think I
interesting.
don't think there's any validation of like what you're doing that's more than that for a pod.
Any live show.
I don't think
That'll be cool.
live show. That would be super. So it's a stretch goal, but I won't say it's impossible. There's nothing impossible when you're focused.
Yeah.
So that for me is what I'm looking
Set
for.
long-term goals. I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. So I'm
So
looking towards that. So please, if
awesome.
and how we'll know when it's time for that is that you're always telling us, you're always reaching out, always giving us feedback, always commenting. Like
Awesome.
that's how we know that
Yeah.
okay, we are not speaking into we are just talking. We're just here. So yeah, also this year, like I said, we are not growing for anybody. So on all platforms, we are like sharing more. We just started the voice chat sessions this year. We've had one already. So if you missed
Yeah.
out of that. So what we are trying to do is that we're just trying to have a place where everyone can speak. So there's no speaker, there's no minister of finance or anything. It's just me and you like learning from each other. So it's like a community town hall, something like that. So yeah, so
Yeah.
join the tribe. You need to join the tribe, be part of that. So just wanted to add that there. So I think Jam, we can close up for us.
Awesome. So, I mean, we learned a lot in this episode. Just a quick recap so that everybody gets the gist. We spoke about like what are we looking out for in the year
Yeah,
2024. We spoke about the last year, things that we missed. We also talked about like the spending outlook, so how people are going to spend based on what's
yeah,
happening here in Nigeria. We spoke about savings as well and other investment opportunities that people should be looking out for and how they should view that as well. So this episode is really just focusing on, starting the year on a good note
yeah,
with some fresh
mm,
perspective, and
yeah.
hopefully everyone by the end of the year is going to be a billionaire. Jigga, that's the goal. To have plenty billionaires on
Loki, Loki,
on the pod.
Loki.
Um,
Yeah.
Please remember to, if you love this episode and you like what we're doing here, subscribe, share, tell your friends about it.
So I wanted to
And
say something just before we close. So
sure,
we have it. We're doing it. We're going to do a pod poll. I don't know if any of the platforms accept polls or the ones that can take comments. So if you get to this point in the pod, I want you to comment how
yeah,
much you think the naira to dollar rate will be by the end of this year. So just let us
yeah,
know.
that'd be cool. Let's know
Yeah.
that
So
people,
just
people
tell
that
us.
believe, people should believe, please, I beg.
Yeah. So if
People
you
should
think it
believe
will
in the
be
country.
200 naira, put it. If you think it will be five, someone was telling me 5K the other day. I screamed. If you think it will be 5K,
Like,
put it there.
5K is bad,
If you
though.
think it will be 1K.
5K is
Funny
really
enough, we
mad.
did this in December and people are already going back to check their predictions. So if you did not do that, just write it below and let us know. And you can also come back that next year or because it will always be there. You can always come back and say,
Yeah.
that's true. I predicted and it came right. I should replace Mr. Kadioso. So I was supposed to be the next year ago. Anyways, that's a wrap for me. That's a wrap for me.
All
It's
right,
so good
guys.
to be back after one
It's
year.
really good.
So looking forward.
It's really good.
2024. It's our year. Shut down, shut down.
So yeah, no grief for anybody. No grief for anybody.
No, at all.
Peace out, guys.
At
Take
all.
care. Thanks, David.
So,
See you in the
yeah.
next episode, guys. Bye.